to lie on the beach all summer until your skin was leathery and crocodile-like, and to save up enough tip money to scrape by and survive through the off-season. You weren't popular if you weren't beautiful, and you weren't beautiful without a tan and a bikini body. So much for aspirations and goals. My old lady dress, with the cellulite-covering skirt of shame that wasn't fooling anyone, was the railroad spike in the social coffin. Of course, my red hair and freckles gave me my superpower, which is the ability to burn under a table lamp, so the threat of looking like rock lobster kept me off the beach and in the free air conditioning of the public library every summer throughout high school. I drew the fat straw. So while the cool kids worked summer jobs lifeguarding and selling Italian water ice, I roamed the library shelves of Jane Austen and Leo Tolstoy. These were my people. They understood me, and they didn't judge. There had to be more to life than parties and popularity. At least that's what I told myself. So my summers were spent in conversation with dead authors. Oh, Jane, really? Heathcliff said what? Leo, does every character have to have 3 names? I can't tell who's speaking. I had one goal in life. Get out of South Jersey and get as far away as possible. I vowed I would never go back. That's pretty much the only successful thing I'd ever done, and now this high school reunion fiasco had arrived to jeopardize all that. I looked at the envelope again. It tried to suck me in. A furry nudge on my leg made me look down. Figaro had come back to apologize for his harsh dismissal of my cowardice, or maybe just to curl up next to me on the plush white sofa that had been my bed in recent months. I offered him a lick of my cookie. He sniffed it and politely refused. John would have taken a bite. This big house is too empty for just the 2 of us, Fig, but there is no way I'm giving Georgina the satisfaction of moving out. The way Figaro's ears pinned against his head at the mention of the Wicked Witch, I could tell he agreed. Georgina was my mother-in-law, or, as Figaro and I called her, domineering overlord. She'd made my life miserable from day one, but then I wasn't exactly what she had been hoping for either. John was her baby, and I ruined him. He was the first genuine friend I made at William and Mary when I ran into him in the quad, literally barreled into him with all the grace of a water buffalo. It was my freshman year, and I was still following the map handed out at orientation. I was so engrossed in trying to find Psych 101 that I didn't see him sitting on the lawn. He was so engrossed in his paperback of Lord of the Rings, he never saw me coming. He wasn't what you would call tall, dark, or handsome. He was more short and squatty. Your average geek before being a geek was fashionable. Stocky and muscular in a way that reminds you of a bulldog, with blue eyes and dark brown hair that curled at his neck. His dark-rimmed glasses, coupled with his plaid shirt and faded blue jeans, made him look more suited to the chess club than the football field. I tripped over him and face-planted right in his lap. I was so mortified I started chattering nonsense like I do when I get nervous. Stuff about how I'm directionally challenged, and I really wanted to be a pastry chef, not a psychologist, and I loved the relationship between Frodo and Samwise. When I ran out of steam, John was looking at me with wide eyes, his glasses askew on his nose from the impact of Hurricane Poppy. I realized my hand was still resting on his inner thigh, and I promptly removed it. "I'm so sorry." He straightened his glasses and said, "If you're looking for the psych wing, you aren't even close. It's probably because your map is upside down. Come on, I'll take you there. My name's John, by the way." From that moment on, we were fast friends. He was like the big brother I never had. We talked about everything: books, movies, school, family. He came from a very wealthy family with political ties on Capitol Hill. He was a grad student in his first year of law school, and there was a lot of pressure on him to excel. I learned later that his family had been grooming him to run for the Senate one day. They never forgave me for destroying their plans. John said I was the funniest girl he'd ever met, and before he met me, he didn't know how to relax. We hung out as often as we could. John tutored me in calculus, and I made chocolate crepes for him on my dorm hot plate. After a few weeks, I finally convinced him to let me go to a frat party. He didn't want me to be around the debauchery, but I was insistent that I was a big girl, and it was all part of the college experience. I didn't think he attended many parties in his own fraternity because the other guys kept slapping him on the back and calling